Baltimore Banner Ravens reporter Giana Han here from our first practice without fans. It's a little chilly practice, not just for the weather right now. Starting with our stock down because it kind of ties in with injury news. DB depth. We are already down 3 cornerbacks today, plus Kyle Hamilton was out there practicing and only lasted a few drills and then went inside. So missing Chidobe Awuzie and Jair Alexander and Jalen Armour-Davis. John Harbaugh wasn't super concerned about any of those injuries, said they shouldn't affect week 1, so hopefully they will be back soon. Unfortunately, Adisa Isaac, outside linebacker, had a dislocated elbow in the last game. If it was clean, it would have been a shorter recovery, but he had ligament damage, so he will start the season on IR. And then on top of that, Emery Jones Jr., their 3rd round draft pick, they wanted him back in training camp. He won't even be back for season starter. Harbaugh said the doctors are being very, very careful with him. Also stock down, Lamar's deep ball. He and Rashad, who were our stock up previously, are now stock down because they just could not connect deep. They connected for like a 15 to 20 yard-ish catch, but every deep ball could not connect. Almost picked off on one, hit TJ Tampa in the back of the helmet on another, so that's our stock down. So moving into more positive, stock up, Bo Braid, who barely had any defensive snaps in the preseason game against the Cowboys, got 1 interception and then another almost interception where he slid around and just didn't quite have the right angle on that one. So good to see from him. Harbaugh had glowing things to say about him after the game, so he will continue to compete on that roster bubble. And then Tavius Robinson, who we've talked about a lot as a guy that coaches really, really love. He started off practice with a pass deflection, and then he also had multiple rushes. And so kind of a slow practice, everyone's in shells. It's hard for the defense to stand out, so shout out to those guys for making some big plays. And then finally, I'm going to wrap up with, we talked to Randy Brown, the specialist coach, for the first time since they drafted Tyler Loop. And so we got to hear about what sold him on Tyler Loop. He said he had about 30 guys, narrowed it down to 10, decided there's only 1 or 2 guys he thought could kick the ball outside. Took us through, if you check our other social media posts, how a dinner in Tucson sold him on Tyler Loop as he explained his process, and he was just so impressed with him. And then he also discussed Jordan Stout, who he said did everything they asked of him this last game in terms of punts and trying out different things. Called him a top 5 holder in the league. Said that he and Loop are still figuring out exactly what that looks like between the two of them. And then maybe one of the most interesting quotes, he called long snapper Nick Moore the Lamar Jackson of long snappers. So he's really happy with that whole operation right now, and he said that Tyler Loop's still trying out some things, mostly in terms of kickoff, but his soccer background will help him there, and he's really excited about what he's seen from him and how the 3 of them are working together.